So the Ghost Pistol is back in the shop. Comes back every year for Fortnite mares, and I figured we should check it out, because if you're looking to buy it, you might want to know if it's good or not. So a little bit about the Ghost Pistol. Its niche, before the Xenon Bow existed, is that it shoots through everything. I know the Neon Sniper does a similar thing, but the Ghost Pistol shoots through walls, player builds. It doesn't cheer bits in streams, so a Twitch link down below if you guys want to do that, but it also can shoot through lots of different targets, riot huskies. That can be super useful. Unfortunately, that projectile that it fires is really slow, and leading those shots can be very difficult, and for a while the damage was not that impressive, but it did get buffed a while ago, so I made a build to kind of check it out. I'm torn. On the one hand, I want to run double crit damage with Totally Rockin' Out, but I want to make this weapon a little bit more well-rounded, so we just basically have an all DPS build. We got Quick Draw Calamity in the lead. I understand with Totally Rockin' Out we might want Beetle Jess in the lead because she gives us that extra crit damage, but I feel like this is the only time we get to use Calamity. She buffs the first 6 shots by 60%, which is a great bonus, so I'm going to stick with her in the lead. This might not be an optimal build because Beetlejuice might be better in the lead, but we're going to stick with it. We're going to stick with it. Then we got Battle Beat and Subwafers just to keep it active. I'm just going to blitz through this because I think we've all seen a Totally Rockin' Out build before, but in case there's somebody new watching, I figured I might as well show this. Then we got Hip Shot and Support because Ranger Deadeye is great. I even got him supercharged, so that's going to be great. Then we've got Locked and Reloaded. I considered Extraterrestrial Rio because it's an energy bonus, but I don't think I'm going to have shields all the time, so yeah. As for the weapon, we're going to make a quick change right here. This is the build that I'm running right now. I hate running a crit build on a pistol, but I'm doing it for a couple of reasons. One, all damage isn't the best. It's decent though. It's good enough, but I'm going to run crit build for the one reason that you are going to be shooting multiple targets, or I guess a couple reasons. Multiple targets, so you'll have a chance to crit on all of them. And for those big targets like a smasher or a mini boss, it would probably be better to switch off to a different weapon, but I want to stay in those fights, and a crit is the only thing that's going to be doing meaningful damage there. And so quickly, we're going to co-reperk this. I have lots of co-reperk. I don't recommend co-reperking this weapon, but I'm going to do it just for the video. I want Affliction on this to give it its best, and those Affliction damage can crit, so I think crit damage affects those. I'm not actually sure if it does. We're locked to energy, so yeah, we're just going to take it in game and try it out. I should have recorded that. I had a Ghost Pistol in my inventory for the longest time. I don't know if somebody redeemed it on stream or something, but I was probably saving it for a video just like this. Then I co-reperked it to Affliction, so that copy's gone. Alright, let's just sneak up to a little taker. See, what does one shot do? Okay, not a ton. The Affliction's honestly, okay, and then we crit. So that's one of the reasons a lot of people actually kind of like the Ghost Pistol, is because that damage is kind of insane. They buffed it a long time ago, as I said, and it's pretty good. It's just that projectile. Like, it's kind of hard to lead the shots when they're running like this, so as I get more practiced, I'm sure this gameplay will definitely improve. So let's get a big crowd here so we can really showcase what this thing can do. Alright, I've been corralling the zombies for a while now, so let's just put up a couple of walls and showcase, like, why this can be so good. You can just safely shoot from the other side of a wall and just do, you know, all the normal damage. There's absolutely no downside to doing this, other than, of course, not being able to actually see what you're looking at, but, yeah, I like to just line them up just like so, and I think if we're going to take perfect advantage of this weapon, we'll probably trap tunnel in a way that allows me to do long, straight lines through lots of targets at once. Look at this, nice little nurse, and oh, hopefully I can crit. Ah, she's moving, and she's dead. That's the best part. Just get the healer out of the way. That way you can just easily knock out everything. And you can see that upwards potential, especially Totally Rockin' Out active. Like, that's 400,000 damage. That is a lot coming out of one pistol. You would think this weapon would be kind of garbage, but after that damage buff, it's hitting like a truck. Alright, we're standing in the storm, but we got an encampment. I'm going to put down a couple of campfires to heal passively after everything spawns in. That way they don't destroy it immediately. Oh my god, the nurse just gets absolutely one-shotted. Oh, alright, well. Alright, coming back to this encampment, I see the smasher. So we're going to take care of that next. But as I was saying, you can one-shot the nurse, get her out of the way, get the healer dead. My campfires are gone because I might have had an oopsie earlier. But look at it. It's beautiful. You just line up a nice crowd. Okay. Get the nice crowd lined up. I'm going to go over here just so I can shoot in a... Okay, that was not the straight line I was hoping for. But this is kind of like the Xenon Bow, but it does more damage, but has less range, I think. And you can tell. Like, it's not enough. And that's kind of where the Ghost Pistol really becomes sort of a niche pick. If you're looking to have fun, and you can afford it, the Ghost Pistol can be super fun. But it's tough to say. You know, I'm annihilating an encampment while struggling at the same time. So if you play smart, you play well, this weapon can be great, but yeah, I also want to find the smasher, and I'm pretty sure it ran off the map. So I guess I won't be doing the smasher test over here. Maybe I could find another one. I actually want to look at the range on this weapon. I said it was less than the Xenon Bow, and that, yeah, 4,500 is definitely less than, I believe, 10k on the Xenon Bow. The Xenon Bow obviously has a much faster projectile. You can see how long that takes, so it's not a fair comparison, but these two weapons are so similar that, like, I kind of have to compare them that way, and by bullying this Mist monster, I accidentally found our Smasher. And I'm not really sure if there's drop-off on this weapon, so I really want to see what it's capable of. I haven't gotten any wafers, so maybe I can activate Totally Rocking Out real quick if I can just eliminate, oh gosh, these couple of targets. Oh no, this is so scuffed. How much damage can we do? No Totally Rocking Out, no Warcry. Yeah, it's tough. This is why I ran a crit build. It's basically the only way we're going to be able to eliminate these large targets. But you can see, even though it didn't kill it that fast, that was a pretty smooth Smasher kill. I mean, we have seen some tougher Smasher kills on this channel before, and not as bad as it might seem. So even though I might not be a fan of the Ghost Pistol, it might not be like a super convenient weapon to use, but the damage is there, and if you line them up properly, so is the crowd clearing. So this weapon is a little more underrated than a lot of you might think, and if you give it a try, you could have a good time. All right, we're gonna take out this giant encampment and then move on with the encampment, or the rest of the defense rather. So encampment, then defense, and I also need to get some wafers sometime in there. Obviously, I'll be doing that farming off camera, but I'm not trying to die. This is where it really struggles. This is where, like, a crowd of enemies just needs to be deleted. That's, yeah. That is not the strong suit of this weapon. Ironically, this weapon has better single target damage. You can see that Mist monster I hit on my way down just died from affliction. It's actually really good. That 400k critting every time is really powerful. And when we get Totally Rocking Out active more often during the defense, I think that'll really show. Alright, we got some wafers, so I can actually eat them and activate the unlimited crits, and then hit nothing because of what is going on. Ah! What was that? What was that? Where did my shots go? Alright, I don't know what that bug was, but I'm gonna kill this encampment if it's the last thing I do. I'm coming over here, and I am gonna be victorious. Maybe get a couple more wafers? Nope, okay. Wafers, onto the Mist monster. There we go. 600k, easy. That's what I like to see. Quick reload. Take out the big targets right away. Where are those shots going? Oh, I feel like a BR player now. This is so intense for me. I just want these Mist monsters to die. Once they're out of the way. Oh, it's so easy. That's so easy. Once they're out of the way, we can get taking care of some of these bigger targets. And then it's the babies. It's the babies that really kill me. All right. I'm going to clean up this encampment off camera, and then we're just going to start the defense. All right, I said off camera, but we brought in the cavalry. Ah! Just like Santa's little helper, Santa's little helper, Santa's little helper. One shot, and it's dead. Thank you, team. All right, starting the defense on fire. I'm just going to get a couple of campfires down. It's ironic that I'm standing in the fire to not be on fire. I didn't put down any traps, so I can solve that probably right now. I want to know what the range is on this thing. Okay, so the projectile is slow. That kind of encourages me to, like, overshoot. I want to put down just a row of ceiling electric fields. This is not at all how I recommend trapping, but, like, it should help me get Totally Rocking Out active more often. And then even on this side. All right, Smasher Tet. Okay, this is not what I... Damn it, Bins. I asked them to give me all the smashers so I can really show what this weapon can do. And yeah, it's kind of hard capped. Like, you really need to be hitting headshots, by the way. I didn't mention that as much earlier, but nice row of zombies, easy knockout. And honestly, any weapon with crowd clearing is going to do really well in this position, but the Ghost Pistol is, surprisingly enough, not really an exception to that rule. Yeah, it's doing plenty of damage. 400k is more than enough for a normal target. You can see, like, even a Mist monster, 500,000, he's dead. And yeah, so I'm gonna get up here next to my campfires again because I'd rather not die. Some people have asked me, like, why not use healing pads. One, they're very expensive, and even I, of all people, am okay, well, I guess the Smasher's taken care of. Even I, of all people, am conscious of the expense of these traps, because when I'm showcasing stuff, I do want you guys to get, like, legitimate recommendations. You know, I want to showcase stuff that would be accessible to a wide audience, and spamming healing pads isn't something that everybody can do. And on top of that, campfires heal nice and steadily over a long period of time, and that's kind of more in line with how you tend to take damage in this game, depending on your loadout, of course. But in this case, I think just chilling over by a campfire is going to be more than enough. You can see I'm actively not dead right now. So range on this weapon is definitely not ideal, but shooting down this slope, I think, will be super doable. And I'm just going to hang out for a second, wait for these guys to line up, and Yeah, just take them out. I was actually in a corner like this just today using the Stormblade build. Link to that video down below. And link to the one where we showed Aiden Harris that build. So I'm sure you might know who Aiden Harris is. That was a super fun recording, and that build completely locked down this slope. Ghost Pistol, having a bit of a harder time. You know, definitely taking some help from those traps, but not honestly that bad. Like, really, this weapon used to do such low damage that I didn't even consider it seriously. And Affliction being buffed the way it was makes it so much stronger. And a couple of different updates like that have really made this weapon a lot better. I know Save the World hasn't gotten, you know, significant content updates in a long time, but we have gotten minor tweaks like that that really do change the way the game is played. And it makes weapons like the Ghost Pistol that you might not have ever even thought seriously about into a weapon that you might be seeing here and thinking, well, you know what, I might actually, I got gold, whatever, I got perk up. B said it's good, I'll try it out. And it's not even just my word, like, you're seeing my footage right here. We are experiencing this together. I did no off-camera testing without you guys, so this is my honest perspective. This is my testing right here, and it's doing all right. We're gonna pop a war cry on this one, plus totally rocking out, and that is actually some really good damage. Like, honestly impressive. That was a 250 power level smasher, kind of like it was nothing. I know I've got teammates, but I don't think they were helping too much on that. And I asked them to give me the smashers, but it seems like Benz does not give a shit. So, yeah. I think we've seen what we need to see, though, as far as smashers, so I don't mind them helping. We did get our 160s done. It was the Supercharger, Survivor Supercharger this week, and I was very certain that I wanted to get that done before recording this, because I knew it would take a while and I didn't want to have a chance of missing it. And I figured we might fail some missions, but Benz and I actually duoed a 160 earlier. It was a retrieve the data. It's nothing wildly impressive, but I was actually kind of happy with that because he put anti-air traps down, and I was not too caring of that, and put down tire traps. And anybody who's played Save the World in the last year kind of knows exactly how that goes. And yeah, that was brutal. This is a brilliant showcase of exactly how good the Ghost Pistol could be, by the way. Killing 3 smashers at once. I was trying not to say mini boss. Through the wall of the objective. Like, that's awesome. And then going straight into a Ride Husky. That's exactly probably the clip I'll use earlier in the video where I showcase exactly what this weapon can do shooting through targets. That is definitely one of the benefits of this weapon. And it used to be a niche, like I said. The Neon Sniper wasn't like a true competitor to this weapon. It was very expensive to operate, and this one is not even using energy ammo. So interesting, is an energy weapon not using energy ammo. Certainly not unheard of, but not super uncommon. Not super common to have a pure energy weapon using non-energy ammo. Like, plenty of weapons can be energy, but they have other elements too. So it's kind of cost effective in that way. I think heavy ammo is certainly accessible, and we don't all use a ton of snipers typically, so I'm sure plenty of people might have heavy ammo just sitting around. And what I'm saying is the Neon Sniper wasn't a true competitor, but then the Xenon Bow came along and basically it just does what the Ghost Pistol does, but better. And I have, believe it or not, think about it real quick, other than the Zenith video where I use the Xenon Bow out of choice, I have not made a single, like, Xenon Bow exclusive Fun 160 build. Like, that Zenith loadout did not need Xenon Bow to be good. You should check that video out, by the way, link down below. But, oh, it's smoke screen, that's a bummer. But with Calamity, I can do a couple, and that's not what I wanted to do, but I can actually do a couple of things. So I'm going to use the minigun now on accident, and then we're going to pop wafers, which would have made this minigun crit more, and then we're gonna do a war cry and lefty and righty and just see how that does. So I'm gonna itch my head, pop the war cry for the team, get the wafers, and see what lefty and righty get. That's actually a lot. If I wasn't shooting at a teammate, I'd be doing a lot more. Look at that damage.
What the fuck was that damage, my guy?
Like it's nothing. Nice little team ready to take it out. That's beautiful. That's so good. If you guys ever see a smokescreen mini boss, nice little PSA, please do not use a pot shot. Please do not use any ranged weapon. If you're somebody who tried out my Crackshot build, link to that down below. I really do love that build. I'll link all the times I use that Crackshot build down below. That's like a mini series within my Fun 160 series, is that Crackshot loadout. I love it to death, but do not use that on a smokescreen mini boss. Your damage will be reduced so heavily. I don't know if it's 90% or what, that it won't even matter. Like, you won't even be doing damage. And a Ravager, even without a melee build, is still going to do tons of damage. If you don't have the Ravager, the Spectral Blade will be coming out soon with the Fortnite mirrors. I'll link the calendar down below. I think it's linked in every video, but it should be, what, on the 30th is the Spectral Blade? And if you're watching this in the future, there are tons of weapons. Stormblade with crit explosions, even outside of a loadout, is pretty good. You got, what's a good melee that everybody has access to? I think the Stab's Worth, even without double attack speed, is actually pretty decent. But base game melees aren't exactly the strongest thing in the game, but you have lots of options. And if you're running 160s, you probably probably have the, okay, somebody suggested in chat the surround pound. The surround pound is decent. It was more useful for like the Storm King's Horn. I don't know if the actual raw damage of that weapon is extremely exceptional. Klax, unironically, is, I'm just gonna be linking all the videos down below, is unironically an extremely good pick for mini bosses. So the reason that I think that is doing so well, somebody linked me on Discord a long time ago. I lost it. If you can comment down below, whoever you were, I might have saved it. Melee weapons, okay, so different weapons in the game have different affliction values where they afflict more than others. So melee weapons afflict for whatever it was, 12 base damage. I'm getting that number wrong. I didn't get the time to dive into whatever they sent me. It was a Reddit post about the different affliction values. I might have to look it up. Maybe somebody in chat can find it for me. But my point is, the melee weapons afflict for almost like 100% of their damage dealt. And I'm saying this from experience, where the Klax is hitting for however much it's doing. Can this not go through shielders? Interesting. It's hitting for like 100% of the damage it's dealing. Then it's afflicting. So you're basically doing almost double damage after that affliction kicks in. And the Klax can also be any element, so it can be really, really good against a mini boss. Although, as I'm saying this, I'm remembering that smokescreen mini bosses never have an element, so you can just make a physical Klax specifically with affliction for mini bosses and it'll actually do fantastic, and I'm not even trolling. So yeah, if you're not like Josh, who's asleep in the Twitch chat down below, I appreciate you guys watching. You know, if you're not asleep, you should subscribe, you know, for more. Typically, in recent times, I've been doing like a part 2, but I don't think the Ghost Pistol is like unique enough for a part 2. I could maybe run a double crit damage on this thing, but I'm not 100% sure if I'm convinced about that. So I don't think it's worth it. I think we've seen what we need to see. I'm just going to leave this as like a one mission video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Check out the links down below if you guys want to check out any more videos. I really appreciate the support on these. So yeah, take it easy, and I'll see you in the next one. And then